Hello, I'm gonna try to quickly give my thoughts on the Everton 2, Watford 0 Carabou Cup win for the boys. I think it's just one of them games where you take the win and you get out of there, and you're happy with just the fact that you won. I think just starting off, the lineup came out. I was actually pretty impressed with the lineup. I think it was uh, DCL up front with Richarlison back on the left, which he's always looked the best playing from the left, and who was in the middle in that front four, Richie, Awobi, and then Keane. Moise Keane started on the right, which was cool because, I mean, we needed another winger. Keane's probably Keane probably would have preferred to play as a striker, just because that's what we thought we have signed. That's what we think we have as a promising striker. But we'd heard that he could play from the side, and that a lot of his goals had come from that area. So it seemed to make sense that he would play. He would fill in for Bernardo, one of the wing roles. The middle of the field is Delph and Gomez. I wasn't surprised by Gomez, but was a little surprised by Delph. I guess that was because maybe Silva thought may need a little bit more defensive nous. Learned that word from English vocabulary. We need a little more nous in the midfield, and so I kind of wished, being that it was a home game, that we would just kept riding Davies, but whatever. And then in the back was Mina, Holgate, Coleman, who I was a little surprised, but maybe not so. A little bit more on that in a second. And then, of course, Digne over to the left. Just a little surprised with Coleman, just because Sidibe had been playing well. But I kind of chalked it up to maybe we're saving Sidibe for Tottenham Sunday. So, pleased with the lineup, but man, that first half was garbage. Like, it just looked like two scared teams, and it's kind of pathetic. Like, you just saw two teams that were just scared to make mistakes. It just really showed that how both teams their confidence was down, and I kind of hate to see that, right? Just, it was brutal. There was just one good chance, I think, that Richarlison had, where we were on the counterattack, and he just made the wrong pass, or he made the right pass too slowly. And Richarlison is not really known for making the greatest of passes, but there were maybe a couple other chances, close chances to score in the first half, but and maybe even the same for Watford. But on the whole, that was a boring first half, and beyond that, they just looked scared. And second half, though, Silva switched Keane for Walcott, which I was glad for, because the first half, Keane didn't really factor in that much at all. And from the little bit we've seen of him, he looks better coming from the side with the ball at his feet, and he just really wasn't getting any play with Coleman. I think that was, and I may sound amateurish, but I just thought Coleman wasn't really able to get by his guy enough to make it interesting over on that right side, which made Keane sort of, unless a weird ball leaks over, a long ball, leaks over to him, or just some bad passing and it happened to get to him, which I think happened one time, he really didn't get him a lot of play. So when he brought Walcott in, I was glad, because Walcott is pacey. He definitely is not going to be your sure shot goal scorer, but he will terrify the defense just because he's so fast, and he causes problems over there. And people get, with a team that's low in confidence, just any little thing that's looked like it's going off, it's what you need to get the dominoes falling. And I actually was not impressed, but last time Watford played us at home, I kind of expected them to. I just remember Decore and what's that dude's name, Pereira or whatever. They were just bossing us in the midfield. I think we won that game 1-0, but we were just holding on by the little thin hairs on our chin to win that game. So I kind of was a little worried that might happen today. But again, Watford just looked just as timid as us, and Second half, though, Decore did come in. Back to Walcott coming in, and yeah, I already talked about that. Walcott came in, made things happen. Decore came in. I got a little worried because again, he thought he was gonna boss us around, but he didn't. I don't know whether he was just cold or whatever, but he didn't do anything. And we started to pick it up with Walcott on. He just was flying down that side, the right hand side, and just causing problems, like I said. And uh, it just looked like more and more was happening. Like there were more and more chances that were coming. I think Iwobi hit the post. A couple uh, corner kicks were, or free kicks were just getting close to being headed right in, or coming in straight from the kick, and you could just feel that goal coming, and for it to come from Holgate, which was really cool, and I didn't realize that was his first goal for Everton, and I feel like Holgate hasn't had, given the young guy, he hasn't had a lot of opportunities to played with West Brom in the Championship, and from all appearances, he did well with them, but it's a different league, and I think he gets a knock on just mistakes he makes at times, which I'm learning that in the Premier League and actually in American sports, the young guys always make mistakes. It's not any different in any pro level. Like, you just gotta ride with it. That's what you get. They have talent, but they're gonna get a little too cocky. They're gonna get nervous. They're gonna face a situation they never seen before, not know what to do, make the wrong mistake or make the wrong decision, and that's what you get with Holgate. But to see he had a decent game against uh, Brighton. He wasn't the reason they lost, really. And he actually set up that first goal, or the second goal with DCL, and he scored the goal today, which was cool. Some fantastic work from Iwobi to help set that up. He was just, dribbling around in between players in the penalty box, and just I can't remember if he crossed it over, but he tried to get it into someone, and then I forget who crossed it over from the left, but Holgate Holgate headed it in, and you could just see the joy in his face, and the Gladys Street looked excited. I just love seeing, the excitement on a young guy who scored his first goal, and the Gladys Street was excited, and they were jumping and looking crazy, and he looked just as crazy, and his teammates were around him. It was a good sight, man. So I'm happy for him, and then the game looked pretty much under control. I mean, Watford kind of just looked like they wanted to go home, really, and they pressed a little bit when Delafeu came on. Thought he was gonna, give us a little bit more of a reason to be like Everton. That just you could easily see him coming in, making it 1-1 from one of his little, step overs and around you into the penalty box, cross it to somebody, they head it in, whatever. But that didn't happen, and I think Coleman actually did well he nicked a couple balls off of people right at the last minute, and for whatever he missed, we lack offensively with him out there. He stepped up. Oh, speaking of defensively, Yerry Mina was he was boss the first half. I hate that he went down because he was. I mean, you hear a whole lot of shouts for we don't have a leader, we don't have anybody to take over it. Man, he was like I'm not letting anything get in the way of us winning this game. He just looked like he was on a mission. He was out there tackling. He was heading everything away. He just looked confident, even though he was coming off an injury, and he ended up getting injured again. But I don't know. For some reason, I just felt like they took him off more as a precaution. He didn't look like distressed, but I wasn't there. I mean, people in the stands could probably know more how serious it looked. So, and I just hope it wasn't, wasn't a setback. And what else? Yeah, Richarlison scored again. So he brought it up. He brought it to 2-0. I think Tosun was on. Tosun, I think, set up that last pass that sprung Richarlison out. But all in all, just happy to get that win. I am in America, so I hear a whole lot from the English fans about we won a trophy, and I've started to adopt that same attitude of wanting to see Everton win something. So I'm glad to see them move to a latter stage, although I did see them one season make it to, I think they played City or Chelsea. someone in the one of the League Cups and just barely got out. I think it was at Wembley. So we've been farther, and it's still a long way to go before you're thinking semifinals and finals, and probably have to go through one or two big teams at least. So I'm just happy, man. I mean, I know that it doesn't. I'm glad it takes a little bit of pressure off of Silva. I mean, still got to play Tottenham Sunday, so that might be a L. Just speaking honestly, but I'd be happy for a draw. And just want to say, like, it's easy, man. I'm a hockey fan, and I've watched my team be bad, and I feel like what I've the vibe I get from a lot of Evertonians, and probably why I am an Evertonian myself, because I inherently am this way, is just to be negative, and it's easy to do that, man. It's easy to just look and say, oh, we don't know our best 11. Oh, Silva, the first half was shite, and why were they so timid? He doesn't have control. All of that, like, first off, we really don't know how the players feel. You can't read people's emotions by how they look. That's just it seems like you can, and sometimes you can, but you can't read it by how they're playing. You can tell they're low on confidence, but you don't know how passionate they are about the game or anything, or how much they want to win. You just have to be excited when your team wins, be happy when they win, and hope for the best. Who cares what our best 11 is? Our best 11 is probably a third of it is hurt. I mean, Bernard is on the bench. Gabaman is hurt. Yeremina went off again. I mean, this team has bad luck, man, and I can say that with without feeling like I'm painting a negative picture. Like, Everton just had some bad luck. It's one of the unluckiest teams I've ever followed in my life. I can say that. But I'm still here, and I'm glad, because I like the team and I like the fans, and just wanna. I'm gonna be happy. I'm probably gonna have a beer or something after this video. So, come on, you Blues.